And I think I'm going to Roscoe it. I did Roscoe it.
Oh, shit.
Alright, Cryptids, what is going on? It is me, Mississippi Gonzo, Growing JK with Breadcorn. Today we're going to be looking at the Bravado Gresley. Gresley, however the hell you say it, but whatever. Kind of funny that this is actually based off of a Durango and an Infinity. But then again, it's whatever at this point. You know, it's Rockstar. What do you expect? And this is one of the OG vehicles that's in the base game. So there is that. So, yeah. Pretty much, it's in the base game. But, still, don't expect great customization to come out of it. But I think I actually ended up reviewing this years ago, and it was surprisingly a fairly decent off-roader. It's all-wheel drive. You know, it is in the SUV class, so that's kind of a big plus if you're looking for something. So, it has really good traction for it to be an OG base vehicle, because, you know, some of them aren't that great. Nothing to see here, just a highlighter yellow Durango Infinity driving all over the place. I will say this, do be careful because the front wheels will jam on it. This is actually one of the few vehicles in game that it will nosedive as soon as you hit the ramp. I know, shocking. Very rare. But it can also do this. It can take on deep water fairly decent as long as you keep your speed up. You know, that's the last thing you want to do is to be hitting this stuff and then it, you know, to go completely out. See? Deep water, not a problem. In fact, it's one of the more fewer decent off-roaders that we've had in game for quite some time. Well, it's been there since the start of, you know, GTA. Well, since the start of 5, so it's been in the game for years. Civilian vehicle, OG vehicle, very basic customization. One bumper option. One hood option. That's about it. Nothing else. And we're going to go ahead and climb over that. So, yeah. Just all kinds of different stuff that this thing can do. Excuse me. I guess we'll be going around. Yeah, one of the few off-roaders in game that can actually do stuff. Okay, I can feel the front starting to get damaged. I can feel it. So this is one of those to be a little bit more careful with. It's a fragile car, but, you know, I'm not expecting any OG vehicles to really, you know, perform great. Because, you know, Rockstar's released a bunch of other great cars for, you know, off-road purposes, whatever purposes, that actually handle really good. But, you know, the OG vehicles you can never go wrong with. You know, it's just something magical about driving original vehicles, and, you know, when it comes down to doing stuff like this, I tend to use story mode, unless the vehicle's in online. So there is that. And I'm using the Legacy Edition to review some of these vehicles because, you know, I have no interest in playing the story mode for Enhanced. You know, that's just my personal thing about it. And I think I'm going to Roscoe it. I did Roscoe it. Yeah, you can tell it gets damaged pretty easily, which is actually the fun part. I don't know how well it would do in a speed run. There goes somebody getting chased by the law. Of course, that front wheel that's damaged, you know, that front wheel is pretty well damaged. I can start to see it go. For some reason, it's always the driver's side wheel that gets locked up. That's the one thing about this one. I mean, compared to GTA 4, I mean, yeah, they could have done better with the crash physics in it. You know, here's to hoping that 6 will have GTA 4 levels of crash physics. But then again, every time a new GTA game comes out, everyone always screams, the last one was better. They did it with 4 by screaming San Andreas was better. And then they did it with 5 by screaming that 4 was better. And it's like, damn, they ain't nothing making y'all happy, is it? But, you know, whatever. So there is that. Yeah, it sticks. That's the one thing I remember. This thing could actually stick to whatever you threw it at. Kind of a big plus in my book. But the only downside is that it doesn't really have any sort of, you know, torque. And by that I mean like really significant, you know, power. Let's see if I get it up through the side. Yeah, it does. All you gotta do is just find a new line and take it there. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it right here. But as always, if you enjoyed, please do shoot the like button with a grip skiddly. And be sure to comment down below any other OG vehicles you want to see, because I'm starting to get to them again. I gotta start making other off-road reviews so I can have a backstock. Which is what I do. I tend to keep a backstock of off-road reviews in case I get down sick, such as at the time of this recording. I can actually just get them on out the way, you know, just for that purpose. And, yeah, so then, I'll be seeing y'all around. Now then, smash the subscribe button today, because I officially live stream at the time of these recordings. I'll be live streaming sometime. But other than that, y'all have a great day and a ballin' weekend, and remember, don't do anything stupid. And as always, y'all take care.